Hi, this is Esther from Ravi Star Jewelry. I hope you're having a wonderful day. As you can see, we've got some Halloween themed beads for our bead spinning tutorial today. And so this is a lot of fun. This is my bead spinner, and I'm a beginner at this. I've only made a few items, but it's a lot of fun and I find it therapeutic. So my goal would be to show you how to do the bead spinning on a basic level. And hopefully there's enough time. I'll also show you how to turn this into a charm. These didn't sell, so I'm gonna repurpose them. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So you need the bead spinner, you need beads. It's a lot easier when you get started if the beads are the same size. Here, these are a little bit of a different size because I wanna make good use of my iridescent beads that are remaining from something else I did. So right now what I'm using is thread, so like a silken thread. This one's a little challenging to get out, but what you want to do is get plenty of thread so that when you make the knots later, you've got a lot to work with. So I'm probably using the wrong side, but this is what you would be doing. So let's see. So this is going to take me a little longer than it should, but that's okay, because I picked the wrong side, the thread, but I can live with it. And so it's important to think in terms of length, how long you want to make your necklace. So you want double plus more to do the knot. And then if you're making something that doesn't have a clasp, you're going to want to have enough thread to completely go over your head. And so that's kind of my goal. I want to do something a little bit longer. But basically, I'm gonna cut now so that you can see how the bead spinner works. You go ahead and give a cut. And then this is the needle that I like. I have another one, but I have a hard time seeing through the little eye. And so this one has plenty of room. You can't use elastic. Unfortunately, it breaks. So you kind of got to use like a nylon or a silken. This is kind of like a silken thread. It's very pretty. And so you thread it. Oh, I forgot my my bead stopper. So you're better off with a bead stopper. So I think we're gonna do a bracelet instead because I'm not sure my bead. Wait, can I stop this? Let me see if I can stop. No, that doesn't work. Okay, so keep going, and I'll just make a bracelet then. And so the bead spinner is a lot of fun. It's really relaxing. Basically, you get kind of like a rhythm to it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, since I don't have a bead stopper, is I think I'm kind of gonna use the scissors, my bead stopper. So let's put that over here. Let's see if this works. I've never done this before in terms of not using a bead stopper, but I'm really willing to work with it. And so this is what you do. And there's a bunch of different techniques, and you basically just kind of get the hang of it. And so you go ahead and you spin. And then when you're done spinning, you pick up the beads. And then what happens is eventually you get into a rhythm. And then even if you don't, it's still easier to pick up beads this way using the needle. So, and what's happening is, with mine, is the orange ones are larger, so it becomes a little bit more challenging. But that's okay. That didn't work. Okay, so gonna have to improvise, and maybe I'll just put the thread on top of here. And so what I'm doing is I'm looking away from the camera to concentrate a little bit better, and then let's see if we can make a bracelet. And I'll just have to be careful with the other end. I learned that the hard way. And so right now what's happening is I don't have much of a rhythm, but it's still workable. And so this saves you a lot of time. It's a lot easier than having to do this beading on your own. And it allows you to use the smaller beads in kind of like a time-effective manner. There you go. You just kind of get the hang of it. And some people are really good at it and they can get a bunch in a row. With me, it's like kind of hit or miss. I do like, I'm left-handed and I like to curve this needle. It's another reason why I like it. It's bendy. And you might find yourself with like flying beads every so often. And that's basically it. That's how you use a bead spinner. So I've been using this bead spinner like for a few weeks probably now. I've made a couple necklaces and some bracelets, and I'm hoping to learn more. And so we had a little spill before, but here's where we're at so far. Let me see, maybe I can put this here, put the little threader here. Again, bead stopper is a much better idea because it prevents spillage like what happened to me earlier. Ooh, there we go. It's a lot of fun. It's really, really fun. And I got mine on Temu. You can also get it on Amazon, and any craft store like Michael's should have one. There we go. And so you come up with these unique patterns. You know, you don't have to do a lot of the thinking. It just kind of creates its own pattern. And so mine is Halloween themed. I've got the iridescent kind of black witchy with the orange. And the reason being my options were limited because I think I bought like a spring palette of beads. So I had a lot of like light pinks and light greens, and I was like, well, that's gonna be amazing, but it's not really fall. So here we go. We're on our way to making a bracelet. So it's going to be, I'm not going to do any measuring because of the situation with the lack of the bead stopper. Bead stopper is this little metal spring that looks like a little chubby spring, and you use it to hold the other side of the thread while you're beading so you don't spill. And spilling is a big problem with these little type of beads. They end up everywhere. Every corner of the house you'll find them, so hope you like sweeping. And so I think I'm going to do another minute, and even if it's a small bracelet, I'm going to give it so that you can see how I do the knot, and hopefully I don't spill everything while I do it. And so the nice thing about this is that there's 2 layers of thread, so that's going to make it stronger because it is a thin thread. And keep going. All right. Here's where we're at. And I want to make it just long enough so that someone like an adult-sized can get their hand through. But I'm not making any promises because I don't have much time to do the knot. If I'm going to keep this under 10 minutes. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm going to give it a couple more twirls. 1. And so once you get to your desired length, it's going to be time to make the knot. And so I'm actually going to cut. Oh, I like the way that looks. Okay, so there's 2 ways of doing this. Some people like to keep the needle on when they're doing the knot. I kind of like to do that, but I'm going to show you just kind of like the basic way of doing it without keeping the needle still on, because it might get in the way. And so here it is. So you need to leave as much as you want, as you can, so that you make the knot, and you go ahead and you make that cut. And so now what I'm going to have to do, because I kind of used a makeshift bead stopper, is I'm going to have to take this out and then just very carefully grab it. And here we've got our bracelet, and you're going to want to move it a little bit. I want to have enough room to make the knots, and so this might get a little tricky. So this might be under a little over 10 minutes, and so because these beads are so small that they kind of like interact a certain way and get stuck as you're making the knot. But I'm going to go ahead and keep going, pretend that I don't know that that's the case. And this is where it gets challenging. I'd love if you guys have any tips or tricks for these type of knots. So there we go. I might make it. And so after, I'm going to do a 3rd knot, and then you just make a cut, but you're going to want to leave a little bit out. So there we go. It's thin enough that it can probably hide, but I'm not too worried about it. It's such a thin knot. You could always hide it, And then what I would do is put a little glue on this knot and then maybe trim it a little later. I'm not sure where I put my glue. So just cement. I see you. Sorry guys, I did a little reorganizing. And so you would just dab a little bit at the center of the knot, and this will help preserve the knot and the thread and keep this bracelet better longer. This takes forever, so I'm not gonna like close it in front of you, but we do have this really cute bracelet now. I was able to make it in under 10 minutes even with all the mishaps. Perfect for Halloween. There we go. And then I think I might still make this a little more avant-garde style with this little guy. And so what we're gonna do is we are gonna repurpose this charm that's on the earring. You also have the option of removing the jingle, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna pretend somebody thinks this is really cool. So you just have to take it off the ear wire, and you do that with a plier. Go ahead and open that up, and you remove the charm. Okay, so I need to open that up a little bit better. I think I might have gone the wrong way. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so I was holding it the wrong way. There we go. Let's get this out. Wow, this was like, okay. This is a new one. I usually don't have much trouble with these. Maybe. There we go. And so here there's a loop, but it's not open. So I'm gonna do this the easy route and just use a big connector. So this is just to show you something else that you could do. So of course this would make a really cute pendant. I'm gonna be a little weird and put it on my bracelet and see what happens when I put it on. Like, does it stay? You know, it's always fun to experiment. So let's see. If I wanted to wear this kooky thing to a party, would I be okay? And we're gonna find that out very soon. Okay, I'm creepy and I'm kooky. Let's see, does it work? I mean, it's a big baggy bracelet. I don't think this quite works. Maybe to take a picture, it would. Maybe with a little of this tape back, it could work. But it looks like these would be better off as a bracelet and a pendant. And so I really hope you've enjoyed this session of bead spinning. Again, Esther from Ravi Star Jewelry. This is the Halloween edition bead spinner. We made this really cute pendant. We repurposed an earring, and we made this bead spinner bracelet that's orange and iridescent black. Don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe. I love doing tutorials and I love hearing from you guys, so feel free to send me messages. And I have a TikTok shop. I'm Ravi Star Jewelry on Instagram, Facebook, the works. Pretty much anywhere you can find me. Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, Grailed, the marketplaces and socials of your choice. Thanks so much for watching. Here's what we made, and have a wonderful, beautiful fall. Take care. Happy Halloween. Bye.